What the hell is she doing here? Won't take long for a patrol to show up. I better get her out of the way. There you go. Looks like she's waking up.
Did you really think you could kill my master and get away with it? After running away with your tail between your legs? You thought a weak woman would never come after you, didn't you?
Mary. Like you said, your master didn't give us a choice. You're exhausted and really worked up.
I feel weak. But when I got here, I was full of anger and power. What has happened to me?
You had an overload you couldn't get rid of. Young technomancers are almost never told about things like that. It makes it harder for them to escape. You were alone, and all that power took over. Now you're empty. You should rest.
I feel awful. Like I've been ripped to shreds inside.
The overload was too strong. You need help. I'll go find some medicine so you can recover. Here, take this. It'll prevent any internal bleeding and get you back on your feet.
I should thank you, shouldn't I? If I join you, will you teach me to control the overload?
I could teach you how to do that, yeah. Some people even learn to use the overload without suffering too much from its effects.
Are you going to sleep with me? Sean did.
If it happens, I want it to be because you want it to, not because you feel you have to. You can help me a lot, Mary, but you're not my slave.
Maybe, but I want to survive. And if that's what it takes, it doesn't matter.
I'll say it again. You don't have to, Mary. You should only give your body to someone if you want to, not treat it like a piece of meat.
Before now, everyone used my body in exchange for my life, or for knowledge. I'll think about it. Thank you, Roy.
I was wondering... You don't want to change what you're wearing? Your dress is ripped to shreds. Not really, discreet.
This dress reminds me of who I am. It's a testimony of my shredded past. I've lost so much due to my ignorance. Today, I am what I am. A pariah. A renegade hunted by my peers. But also a new woman. Free to determine her own conventions, without bonds.
I suppose I can understand that. You're a little lost here. It's your last link to your past life. All right, fine. We'll go on like that. How did you become apprentice to the warden of a prison camp?
It's a long story. I'm sorry. I really don't know you. I'd rather talk about it some other time.
What are the Abundance Technomancers like? Do they have the same status as here?
I don't know much about it. But from what I saw, the people are afraid of them, just like here. Even though they'll never be allowed to hold the highest offices. But they're in the army. They're officers. They are not allowed to form cliques or teams. A master is simply allowed an apprentice, nothing more. They're primarily a military unit. For the battlefield, nothing more.
Why did you take the risk of following me? You would have kept your status and rank with Abundance.
I was so angry, livid with rage. Sean had saved and protected me. I wanted to avenge him. Now I see that he was using me. But how was I to know that then, when he was all that I knew? I followed you for one reason, to kill you.
You said he saved you?
Yes, I'm sorry. I don't really want to talk about it.
Mr. Temperance, I'm Devotion. General Honorgrant sent me. He'd like to talk to you.
Strange kind of invitation, seeing how they're looking for me.
I thought I had observed all the formalities. Please forgive me. If you fear for your life, please understand that the General does not currently wish you any harm.
Now that's a relief. Are you sure you're normal?
I believe so. On the other hand, I am only following the orders I've been given. Given your current situation, I suggest you go to him through the Tyrville Underground.
You sure got the right name, don't you? Devoted and calm as they come. Yeah, all right, I'll go.
And me? Am I invited too?
I think you can come too. We didn't know Mr. Temperance had a companion. That explains why the invitation didn't mention you. Please forgive us.
I think I'd like to go too.
Okay, let's go together then.
Yes, what do you want?
The name's Roy. Roy Temperance. I have a meeting with General Honor Grant. I was told to come here.
Yes, you can enter.
Hi. You're expecting me, I think.
I am. Good to meet you.
Really? Mind telling me what you want from me?
I have heard you are being hunted as a renegade. Rest assured, I have no intention of giving you up to the Source. To be perfectly frank, I'll admit I'm not very fond of them, and they feel the same way about me. But I'm high enough up the ranks that they can't do much against me, or those who work for me.
Ah, I think I'm starting to see what you're getting at.
All right, listen. I'm trying to understand how they got so powerful. I am worried. So I decided to put together a group of people to find out. You already know Devotion. She's my eyes and sometimes my hand. I'd like you to join her in the group, but I'm sure you have questions.
I have one. You say you never liked technomancers, yet you ask Roy for help.
I know how to tell the difference between the technomancers from the Source and a renegade girl. And even if you obviously have the same skills and are a bit disturbed, you'll understand that I'm not worried about you betraying me. Neither of you will find the Source and reveal the existence of my little group. And both your skills and knowledge of the enemy will be useful to me. More questions?
I know you're a friend of wisdom. This group kind of looks like treason to me.
You are mistaken. It is, on the contrary, my duty to protect my friend and Dowser from what threatens him. In this case, the Technomancers. I don't know how they've managed to convince him to give them so much power. Just like me, he knows that you are unstable. That's why they didn't have that much power before. But they are gaining strength, and I have to protect Aurora and Wisdom from their schemes.
And Devotion? You make her sound like your crony. Who are you exactly anyway, miss?
The General told you, I am his eyes and hands when there must be killing. He took me in before the war. I was only a child. Since then, I have been showing him my gratitude.
You can trust her as much as me. As long as you don't betray me, of course.
Why not help the Resistance if you want to go against the Technomancers? After all, they have pretty much the same goal.
Not really. I know they hate the Technomancers as much as I do. But they are idealists, and they want to change society. Power to the people. Allow me to tell you that that is as credible and inoffensive as what we are faced with from your former colleagues. Chaos. And in a few months, an invasion by the neighboring guilds. I did not win the war against Abundant to see my guild devoured so soon after my victory. Those people may have good intentions, but they're dangerous.
You're in the government, you work with the Technomancers, and you're best friends with dear Dowser Wisdom. Why in hell would I join a group under the thumb of corrupt and murdering people, huh?
General, let me make him eat his words.
No, Devotion. It's a good question. I put up with the Technomancers and their madness more than I work with them. As for the murders, I suppose you're referring to the disappearances in the militia. That is their work, not mine. Even if I can't understand the reasons for it. And as for the corruption, I think you're mistaken. I'm no saint, but I can say that today I am the only defense left against the Technomancer's coup. You're being hunted, tracked by the Technomancers, as you know. If you have my protection, They'll have to leave you alone.
I'm sure you understand it's not the kind of decision you make just like that. I need time to think.
I understand. And I have to admit that I find that reassuring in a way. You deserve your name more than it would appear. Temperance. I'll get back to you in a while.
Thanks. I'm going in that case.
Goodbye, Roy. But don't forget, if you have even the slightest feeling for Aurora, I am its last defender.
Surprise. Attack! Fuck, you're even better than I remembered. I must be starting to get rusty. I'm too old for this business.
You've known me for ages. Why'd you accept this job?
You know me too. I'm not the kind to do something for sentimental reasons. I was always a bastard. Just ask Charity. I must have had an unhappy childhood. But I'm always practical, and I don't feel like dying just yet. I broke that contract, and even if you decided not to kill me, I would still be in shit.
You got yourself in it on your own.
It's true. Listen, I think the only way I can get out of this is by working for you. What do you say? You know I'm good.
You really think that after what you just did, I'm gonna hire you? Without mentioning how you're a turncoat?
Keep dreaming. But you know I won't have a choice anyway. I'll have to stick to you like glue and take part in the fight. Now it's up to you, of course.
He's pretty disgusting and doesn't seem very honest, but I like the way he speaks. He says funny things.
Listen to the chick. She walks around half naked and it's like there's a meltdown going on between her ears. You already got a nutcase with you. Why not a bastard?
All right, but I don't really know why I'm doing this. Maybe because I don't want to become a bastard like you. But I swear, if you betray me, you're a dead man.
You're really a great guy, Roy. Gotta say. Let me get my shit together and I'm all yours.
And I knew that scumbag when I was a kid. He always was a snake. Anyway, thanks. Thanks a lot.
I wasn't about to lose my best source of information.
Don't be so cynical. You're a good man, Roy. I got nothing on me right now, but drop by my place. I'll give you something.
Yeah, all right. I'll drop by.
You ever get the impression that you're kind of sickeningly nice?
What do you mean?
All those guys you leave on the ground behind you, you know they get back up. Can you imagine the number of pissed off people who only want to get back at you?
I don't see the point in killing when you don't have to. You're living proof.
I guess I should shut up, right? And all that serum lost. Heroes.
I wanted to know... You know Shadowlair by heart, right?
I was born there, but I didn't always live there. Bounty hunters tend to get around a bit. But I've been back for a while. So, yeah, I guess I know the place better than you. It's a big pile of shit with gutless wonders living in it and run by head cases. A charming little spot, my favorite. If you want, just ask me when we're in the neighborhood. I'll tell you what you want to know.
Why not? I may find out some stuff from you, and at least you'll make me laugh. I wanted to know... How'd you become a bounty hunter?
It's a long story, but basically I didn't have much choice. I was living in Shadowlair at the time, had some problems, had to get out. I started working for a guy, a real bastard to be honest. But he respected me and vice versa. One day he got shot and they tried to make me take the fall. I didn't have a choice. I had to go find the guys. That's how I started.
I wanted to know... What do you know about the guy who hired you?
Another guy with a ridiculous name. Generosity, I think. Yeah, right. He looks as generous as a good kick in the ass. And he comes across all lit up, too, like a war windmill. They said he's pretty high up in the source. Probably didn't make the decision on his own, like always with these inbreeds. You can bet the whole guild wants your head. And the bounty was high. Real sad.
What do you regret? The bounty? Or the fact that my head's still on my shoulders?
The bounty? Nice amount of cash, you know. They must have kept it somewhere for when I showed back up. If we could get our hands on it.
I don't see how you expect to stumble across it, unless you want to go straight to the source.
No thanks. I saw enough guys with batteries shoved up their ass for a lifetime, I think.
What do you think about the Resistance?
Dreamers completely disconnected from the real world. People who are doing everything to change the world but don't understand they might just destroy it. Figure they're dangerous in their way. Bunch of freaks who think they know the real truth. Fucking extremists that gotta be real bitter because they weren't born with power.
What do you think of Honor Grant?
Our national hero? Want my opinion? I can't say I really know him, but the idea that if he could have taken over at the top from his buddy, he'd have done it. That guy can pretend he's as straight as an arrow, the paragon of virtue and all that shit. But he's just like everyone else. He just wants power.
Can you tell me more about this neighborhood?
You know this place. I don't really know what to say. There's Charity's bar, and that's where you're sleeping. This is the poor part of town. Got lots of mutants, but there's worse. Just go to the slums. But I gotta admit, it's got character, and you can lose a tail easy here.
Roy, looks like you're back in the neighborhood.
Always a pleasure.
Of course. What do you want?
You said to drop by. You'd give me something.
True. Even if I wonder if I did the right thing. Seeing you hang out with that scum. When I think about you kidnapping me.
I know Roy likes you. I just used the cards that have been in my hand best I could. Nothing personal.
That's your problem. It's never anything personal. Anyway, here, Roy, take this. I hope it'll be useful. Listen, while we're on the subject, the kid, Innocence, came by while I was out. He told the bouncer the Resistance is getting a major strike ready on a train. He'll want you with him. It's a Technomancer convoy, if I understood right. You should maybe find out some more. Could be dangerous.
If you want my opinion, well, I don't guess you give a shit. But that kid you're hanging with, I don't know about him. Figure he'll be trouble. What kind of stupid idea is that? Joining the Resistance? That bunch of inbred idiots are so hooked on Utopia they probably shit roses.
He wants to know what happened to his parents, or to get revenge, I guess. I also think he really believes they can change things.
At his age, you can understand it. Even if you should have taught him better. We're gonna get him in deep shit, you know? Pretty good chance of him dying.
I know. Hey,
Hi, what can I get you?
I heard the Resistance is planning to attack a Technomancer convoy. You know if the kid who was with me the other day is with them?
You know, I don't actually follow their every move with bated breath. But seems to me he actually was with them, yeah. They said something about freeing prisoners.
The kid must have thought his parents might be in there. But it reeks of a suicide operation.
Wasn't supposed to overhear their discussion, but I know where the attack took place. I can take you there. I owe you.
All right, I'm with you.
Got one!
Roy!
Innocence! Innocence! Innocence!
Shit, Charity. It was a disaster. The kid was arrested.
I'm sorry, Roy. He seemed like a real nice kid, really. The attack was stupid, but I already knew it didn't work.
You got a lot of good information, apparently.
Some young person came here to hide just after. Judy. She told me what happened. And there's also someone sniffing around your place. A girl who works for the General.
That'd be Devotion. She's his right-hand man, armed, from what I understand.
My poor Roy. You have to decide. You're going to need allies if you want to help the boy. And scenes I doubt the Resistance can put up with honor and vice versa. You should go talk to the two women. See what they suggest.
Roy, I'm happy to see you. Even if Marco doesn't agree, I know we'll need you.
Like you needed innocence.
Please, hear me out. You can't imagine how sorry I am about his arrest, but he wanted to take part in the attack. I think maybe we can help him escape when they decide to execute him. With your help, I'm sure we can do it. You know how important our ideas are to him. Marco didn't welcome you right, and he's still suspicious of you, but he's not the only one who makes decisions around here. Let's save him together, and then you can join us. We'll leave for Green Hope as soon as we free him. We hope we can weaken the Technomancers there.
Those little Resistance bastards aren't as stupid as they look. They sent a cute cheerleader to bring you over. Cheap move.
Tenacity, shut up. Judy's one of the leaders of the Resistance.
Yeah. Still, if I were you, not sure I'd buy that line about saving him. And the Resistance, you know.
Let me have a bit more time to think about it.
All right, but think fast. I don't think they'll wait long before they execute him.
Greetings, Mr. Temperance. I've been ordered to see if you've thought things over.
It's not really a good time. One of my friends,
We know. So the General has a proposal for you. He can save the young man if you decide to work for him. The Technomancers aren't strong enough yet to counter his decisions. Join us and he'll live. On the other hand, I have to warn you that after saving him, we'll have to leave Shadowlair for a mission in Green Hope.
What the hell is this all about? And who is this android? Her bodywork looks all right, but she seems kind of weird.
Tenacity. Meet Devotion. She works for General Honor Grant, who suggested I join him.
And now he's pretty persuasive with the kid in the hands of the Technomancers. If he can stop people tracking us, sounds like a pretty good deal.
I hope the General will keep his word. If he does, you can count on me. I'll go to Green Hope with you.
Innocent Smith, on your feet, follow me.
I've had your friend removed from the Source prison. For the time being, the Technomancers are unable to do anything to stop me.
Where is he?
I'm taking you to him. I had him transferred here, the Ministry. Do you want to go in?
No. If I do, he'll hate me. I betrayed his cause, his ideals, and he'll see it right away.
You were only fighting back legally and effectively. And you saved his life.
I doubt he'll see things the same way. Even if you fight the Technomancers, you closed your eyes on the deaths of the militia, and that's the only thing that matters to him. You should release him. He doesn't need to know I'm behind it all.
I can't release him right now. What do you think his friends would think if they saw him freed? They'd think he betrayed him. And they'd kill him.
You're probably right, but he can't stay here. He's still too close to the Technomancers. Send him to Shade Valley or some other small city, a long way away from all this shit.
All right. Devotion will escort him. There's nothing more you can do for him now. One thing. He had this notebook on him when he was arrested. There's a lot about you in it. Here, keep it.
Why am I still alive? Where are you taking me? Please, I need to know. Are you taking me to a work camp? You know Roy? Temperance?
Forget it. Enjoy the trip.
I've read this diary that Innocence kept, which Honor has given to me. Everything he went through since he got to camp is in it. His story is moving, even if I realize that maybe I didn't make him tough enough. I didn't get him ready for what was ahead. He talked about the people he met, what we did. He even wrote whole pages on what I did since he joined the Resistance. I knew the Resistance had good sources, but I didn't think he'd hear about me stopping the serial killer. Nor that Mary and Tenacity were with me now. In fact, I was a bit embarrassed to realize that I was the hero of the book. Maybe that's why I feel kind of obliged to keep it going. I have to finish this story so he can read it for himself when he comes back from exile. There we are. Greenhope. You know, it's not that different from what I've seen in other places. A dusty old hydroponics farm, crumbling under the wind and the war. When you think of everyone who died here for this. I was kind of expecting something greener, less desperate, too.
There was a lot of fighting here during the war. Lots of the buildings were destroyed. It was probably a lot more like you pictured it before. But I don't think we should hang around. General Honor is waiting for us in the western part of the town.
Hi.
Sorry, but it's not exactly a good day for us.
What's going on?
Those bloody mutants stole some of our food. Not like we produce much, anyway. It's going to make things really hard. They deserve to get put down, damn animals. As if they didn't have enough with what we give them.
I can go see them, work this thing out?
That would be great. We need to get back what they stole and punish them. We can't let them get away with it. But, if you could avoid killing them, just teach them a lesson. I got a bit carried away earlier, but we need the labor.
I don't understand why this guy can't deal with his mutants himself. He's responsible for them, after all.
I'll do my best.
Yes? You want something?
What can you tell me about the mutants here?
But they still complain, but we're used to it. It's true, we should maybe give them a little bit more food. They do good work when they want. I say a mutant is like a cow. If you want it to work well and give you milk, you got to feed it. But there's guys here who don't particularly like the mutants.
You know that the crops were destroyed?
Of course I heard about it. The moles apparently... That's a weird story. Moles just don't go into human structures. They got to smell the water, see? And here, all the water from the crops is recovered in small canals, just below the surface. They shouldn't be able to smell it.
You're surprisingly soft. Why leave your enemies alive? Didn't they attack you?
That shock you?
When I carry out a mission for the General, I have to admit I don't put on the kid gloves. I'm just a bit surprised, that's all.
What point is there in killing these people? What, for their serum? I've already beaten them. They're out of it. They won't be in any hurry to attack me again.
When you put it that way, I understand better.
Roy, good to see you going at it. We're going to have some work here.
Why come here? What's so special at Greenhope? Apart from the mass grave, of course.
My contacts informed me that the Technomancers opened a kind of work site here. I wanted to investigate further, but I was told from up top, right up top, that I should keep out of it. Obviously, that made me curious. We were only supposed to rebuild here, nothing to interest the Technomancers. I want you to look around this special site. Tell me what it really is. I can't let them work here without knowing why.
All right, I'll go look into it.
What do you want to know?
How did you learn that the Technomancers had opened a specific site here?
Devotion isn't the only person working for me, you know. And a lot of the others are keeping an eye on the source undercover.
Roy, I wanted to tell you, I'm sorry about the boy. I know that he was like an apprentice to you.
Thanks, Mary. That's nice of you. I was wondering... Have you already come here to Greenhope?
No, never. I heard about it, of course. The battles here were so big. Abundance didn't want to lose the place. It was such a key part of their strength. But that's all.
What can I do for you?
I wanted to ask you,
I was born in Shadowlair and lived there most of my life. Even if since the war, I've been doing a bit of traveling, of course. But I was always a citizen of Aurora. What about you?
I was born in Shadowlair too. I basically grew up at the source and then ran away as soon as I could.
I see.
How'd you start working for the General? You're really young.
I crossed paths with the General when I was about 10. Took me on as a messenger, and as I got older, he gave me more and more things to do.
And you agreed to do his dirty work.
I owe him a lot. It's hard to say no. And it's something I'm good at too, whether you like it or not.
You said the General took you under his wing when you were really young. Don't you have a family?
My parents died when I was around 10, just after my brother disappeared. I'm an orphan.
How did it happen?
My mother had an accident at work. They said she was nowhere near as careful as she used to be, and my father became an alcoholic. He died just after he more or less put me in with a friend of his from the army, General Honor Grant.
And how did your brother disappear?
I don't know what happened. I was still really young. He was just a toddler, and one day he disappeared. My parents said he was kidnapped. It's a touchy subject. I'd rather talk about something else.
You've known the General for ages. What can you tell me about him?
He's an excellent strategist and a soldier at heart. Sometimes he's real strict, even hard, but he's always thinking about Aurora. He defends the Guild like it was his mother, and I defend him.
Why do you defend him like that? What ties you to him?
Even though he's not always been that warm with me, he raised me since I was 10. And that's a good enough reason in my eyes, and he's a man who generates loyalty.
What do you think about the Resistance's cause?
They're agitators. They only want chaos. The Guild is already teetering, and without a general, it would have fallen already. Sure, they're not as dangerous as the Technomancers, but they raise havoc, which is something we don't need right now.
Do you know this place well?
I came here with the General during the war. It's one of the most productive hydroponic sites in the region. I mean, it was. The war did a lot of damage to the installations, but it's still a key place for a guild. If it were restored, it'd be an incredible source of wealth.
What do you think about the Technomancers?
It seems difficult to generalize with you, but most of the ones I've met are unstable, egotistical, and hungry for power. But of course, I understand that with the training you get, and the gift that makes you different, it's gotta change the way you act.
You think I'm like them?
No. Probably because you left the source.
Or maybe I left the source because I wasn't like them.
True. I didn't look at it that way. Sorry if I insulted you.
How can we help the man?
Where are you from? You from Aurora?
Yes. The one man sees before him belongs to Aurora, and always belonged. We came from Shadowlair in a train with others to work here. But we regret. In the city we ate our fill. The men fed us. Here they throw us some leaves. They throw leaves at us, nothing more. Here we die of hunger and must work as much or more.
What do you do exactly? What do they get you to do?
We had to move man corpses, put them in trains for the city, and repair broken canals, and carry bags, and plant grain, and...
I think I see. You do a bit of everything.
Oh no, we decide nothing.
Where did you put what you stole?
The mutants must eat too, like the men. They have enough to eat.
Explain yourself.
The men were given much stock by the Guild, very much, to eat and sow. They also received the mutants, us, for help, but they gave us nothing to eat. The mutants must eat too, otherwise we die, like the men. They have enough to eat. Why do they give us nothing?
Okay, I get it. I know you need to eat. Maybe I can help you balance things up a bit.
We do not understand. You are a man.
Yes, I'm aware of that, thanks. Alright, I'll see what I can do. I'll say you already ate what you took. I'll probably have to tell them that I punished you too, but you'll have to play along.
This is unexpected, man. If you do this, you will be saving us. And
yes?
Many of us are sick, as we have not had food for a long time. And may the man forget me. I should not ask for more than what he has already given us.
Well, just tell me about it instead of beating around the bush.
If the man could also find us some medicine, it would be very, very kind.
I'll see what I can find.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah?
I wanted to know... You ever go to Green Hope?
Yeah, ages ago. Still part of Abundance at the time. I was looking for a guy who was passing himself off as a farm worker. Changed a lot since then. I doubt what I know from back then is still good. Sorry, buddy.
What do you think the Technomancers have been searching around here?
You're more like them, Roy, and you know them better. But apart from the fact the place could be worth a fortune, it's also pretty far from Shadow Lair.
I'm listening.
If you had something a bit questionable to do, you wouldn't do it in the main city square, right? Somewhere big, but isolated, where there's lots of comings and goings because of the reconstruction. That's a good spot. Way better than in the middle of Shadow Lair where all eyes are on you. I figure they're getting something shady ready. Maybe a coup. And there's no way they're going to let someone stir up shit in their business without reacting.
I, took care of your problem.
Really?
Sorry, I couldn't get the food back. They'd, already eaten it all.
Oh, shit. We're gonna be struggling for months to make that up. We're really gonna have to tighten our belts.
You still got enough to survive. You'll get by.
All the same, those filthy animals need to be taught a lesson so they don't start again. If we let them get away with it once, they'll think they can do anything.
Done deal. I took care of it. It won't do that again.
Well, that's good to hear. Thank you, I suppose.
You're not a farmer.
True. That a problem?
Not at all. Takes all kinds. Well, maybe you'd be ready to help me.
What's wrong?
Since I've been here, things have been getting worse and worse. I'm supposed to replant all the crops, but everything's being destroyed by the moles. It's impossible to grow anything. So we're short of everything, but we should already have our first harvest since we got here. But nobody's doing a thing. They're too scared.
It's pretty basic, but I'll help you.
Thank you. That's real good of you. Got to say, there aren't really any guards here to help us.
Where's the field?
I'll mark it on your map if you like. There.
So that's it. A whole mess of pre-turmoil artifacts. Kind of explains the Technomancer's excitement.
On the other hand, it's hardly surprising they're frothing at the mouth. That stuff's worth a fortune.
It's not so much the serum they could get that has them excited. This is the kind of place where you find things for using the fluid.
Oh, so they can make lots more cute little Technomancers? What luck.
That and the knowledge they can get from it, to become more and more powerful.
You saying this entire goddamn war business started because of that? Mind you, it makes more sense than fighting for philosophical reasons.
Let's go tell Honor.
So, any news?
Yeah, I killed the moles that were infesting your fields. You can go back to work.
Thank you so much. And not just for me. The whole village thanks you. Here, take this.
Thanks. Bye.
There is the man again. Do you have the medicine?
Yeah, but here, keep it to yourselves. If anyone sees you have it, you'll get in big trouble.
Of course, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. The man is great and generous. Accept this gift. We all contribute, so we can thank you.
Thank you. Ah, I almost forgot. I lied to the villagers. You're not supposed to have any food and you've been punished. Be convincing.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Do you know anything about the Technomancers?
Those magic men don't come here, but we know that they are digging. We've carried equipment to where they dig. They are looking for something in the ground. We think they are looking for traces of the first men.
Colonists?
Yes. Green Hope is old. It is said that part of the canals date from that time. That is what makes it rich.
Huh, I see. Interesting. I heard about a shadow line being built around here. You know anything about that?
Yes. Some of our people are used there, but we have heard nothing more of them. It is a very bad place to work. There would seem to be others working in the sun. Not just us. Men, too. But that's crazy. Nobody would do that.
The Technomancers were carrying out experiments on mutation. Have you heard anything about that?
No, man. Those of ours who went to Shadow Lane have not come back. May the sun receive them, and the Shadow forgive them.
Where are you from?
Most of us came here at the same time as the men from Aurora, sent by the Guild to work here, to rebuild the structures, carry loads, help in the fields. Before, we were in Shade Valley, and others were in Shadowlair. We belong to the Guild. They send us where they want. Some were already here, from Abundance.
Any info on Green Hope?
It's a place where a lot of men died. When we arrived, there were still bodies, and holes everywhere. Many broken things. The ground is rich, but it's a place of death. Never at peace now. The ground has tasted blood, and it will want more. But that is merely what we think.
I have to go. Bye.